All right, let's talk coffee. If you're a coffee lover, but the cup you make at home just never seems to hit the same way as your favorite cafe, then you are in exactly the right place. Because today, we're going to talk about the one single thing that will completely transform your morning brew for the better.
You know the feeling, right? You wake up, you're excited for that first cup of coffee, you go through the whole ritual, and the result is just meh. It's fine, sure. But it's missing that spark, that vibrant flavor you know is in there somewhere. So what's going on? And it's so frustrating because you've done everything right. You went out and bought the good stuff, these beautiful aromatic beans, you measured the water, you got the timing down. It feels like you're checking all the boxes, but something is still missing. Well, the answer is actually way, way simpler than you think.
So let's just get right to it. It's time to pull back the curtain and expose the hidden culprit behind millions of just okay cups of coffee every single morning. Let's talk about the pre-ground coffee problem.
Yep, the villain in our story is that bag or that can of pre-ground coffee sitting on your counter. I know, it's so easy. It saves you, maybe 30 seconds? But here's the deal. That convenience is a trap, and the price you're paying for it is the one thing you actually want from your coffee. Amazing flavor.
Now, to really understand why pre-ground coffee is such a flavor killer, we need to meet the arch nemesis of every single coffee bean on the planet.
And that enemy is oxygen. Yep, the very air that we're breathing right now. It causes something called oxidation. Just think about what happens when you slice an apple and leave it out. It turns all brown and mushy, right? The taste gets dull. That's oxidation in action. And the exact same chemical reaction is happening to your coffee.
You see, a whole coffee bean is basically a perfect little flavor vault. Its hard shell does an amazing job protecting all those delicious aromatic oils inside. But the second you grind it, you've just shattered that vault into thousands of tiny little pieces. All of a sudden, you've massively increased the surface area that's getting attacked by oxygen. You've basically thrown open the doors and invited all the flavor to just rush right out.
And here's the crazy part. That flavor escapes fast, like shockingly fast. The clock starts ticking the literal second those beans are ground. You've got about 1 minute of peak aroma and flavor. Just one. Within a couple of hours, you can already taste a noticeable difference. And after a couple of days, forget it. What you're brewing is just a bitter, stale ghost of what that coffee was supposed to be.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Now that we know the problem, let's talk about the solution. Because this is where you go from being a victim of stale coffee to the absolute hero of your morning. It's time to take control of your brew.
See, grinding your own beans isn't just about fighting off oxidation, it's about giving yourself power. The power to perfectly match the grind size to your specific coffee maker. The power to experiment with different beans and brewing styles. And most importantly, the power to get incredible, consistent results day in and day out. Let me give you a couple of real-world examples. Let's say you use a French press. For that, you need a really coarse grind, something that looks and feels kind of like coarse sea salt. If it's too fine, you'll get a muddy, sludgy cup.
Okay, what about a standard drip coffee machine? You know, the kind most of us have on our counter. For that, you're looking for a medium grind, something with the texture of regular sand. That's the sweet spot for that method.
And then for something like espresso, you need a super fine grind, almost like a powder. Think table salt. So you see the problem, right? How could the company that roasted your beans possibly know which one of these you need? When they pre-grind it, they're just taking a wild guess. And a guess is never a recipe for amazing coffee.
Now, at this point, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. I can practically hear the objections bubbling up. So let's just tackle the biggest myths about coffee grinders head on, right now.
Here's the big one, the #1 reason people hesitate. This all sounds great, but I really don't want to spend a ton of money on another kitchen gadget. And you know what? That's a totally fair point. But what if I told you the price of admission is way, way lower than you think? You can get a solid, totally capable coffee grinder for about 50 bucks. Seriously. We're not talking about some professional, cafe-level piece of equipment here. We're talking about a simple tool that will make a massive difference in your cup, right away.
And let's put that 50 bucks in perspective. You might spend that on groceries for the week, and in 7 days, it's all gone. That $50 grinder, that's an investment that's going to last you for years, paying you back with a delicious cup of coffee every single morning. It's an investment in a better day every day.
All right, myth number 2, the hassle factor. I hear this all the time. Look, I'm not a coffee nerd. I don't want to turn this into a science project. I just want good coffee without all the fuss. If that sounds like you, listen up.
This is not about becoming a coffee snob.
This is about adding one simple 30-second step to your morning routine. 30 seconds. That's it. It is the single, smallest, easiest thing you can do for the biggest possible reward in your cup. It's not a hobby. It's a life hack. So, let's bring it all home. We've met the enemy, oxidation. We've found our hero, the coffee grinder. And we've busted the myths that hold so many people back. So what's the one big idea you need to walk away with?
It's this, and it's probably the most important piece of advice you'll hear today. You do not need the fanciest, top-of-the-line, most expensive grinder. The experts are all in agreement on this. Any grinder is better than no grinder. An inexpensive one will still be 1,000 times better than buying pre-ground.
So if you take only one single thing away from this, please let it be this simple piece of advice. Grind your own beans. It is, without a doubt, the most impactful, most noticeable, and most delicious upgrade you can possibly make to your coffee game. It's the key. So really, what's stopping you?